part 2 of bringing this Corvette back to life. Man, it has been a busy first few weeks of summer, and for a couple of those weeks, I was pretty dang sick. But I tried not to let it slow me down from working on this thing, but it did slow me down from taking a bunch of video. But I did what I could, so let's get this thing started. First things first, we started with a wash. I'm not feeling 100% today, as you guys can probably hear, but I guess since Mother Nature's giving me a nice pre-soak, there's no better day than now to wash it. Out of everything I've done on this thing, probably washing this has been the most satisfying thing I have done on this Corvette. So we grabbed the power washer, washed all this grime it's had from sitting the last couple of years underneath the tree, and then I moved to some soap. Now I got the wash mitt out, I'll get to scrubbing this and hope we can get the rest of that grime off. That was pretty dirty, but now we're gonna have to hit it with the soap and rinse it off one more time. It came pretty clean. I'm still gonna have to clay bar and buff it though. There's no other way around that. Taking a break from polishing this thing, because if you would have seen when I fired it up the first time, it had an ABS error and a StabiliTrak error. I wasn't sure what that actually was, and I don't have a scanner that'll read that. But as I was washing it, I saw a wire kind of flapping around when I was cleaning the engine bay. Well, look at this thing. This is a speed sensor plug that goes to the passenger front wheel bearing. It was broke. I could just see the wire kind of flapping around there. This, I don't have pins to fix this, but luckily a 4th gen Camaro uses the same plug just on the opposite side. So I did have a pigtail. I'm gonna splice it on. Shrink tube and fix like it never happened. So now I just need to get this thing fished back down there and plugged in somewhere down there. See what we got here. Oh. Oh, it went off. Heck yeah, no ABS or StabiliTrak code. I think this just might be the only car I own without a check engine light. Ha! Go figure. Well, I found some fuel rail covers, so why not? Gotta get that on reading right. Most important part. I'm not really sure if that shows up good, but our next step is gonna be trying to paint correct this a little bit. And you can just see how many swirls is in the paint here. So Ellie and I are gonna take a synthetic clay pad, and with her and her messy hair today, we're gonna take some Windex and clean up all this paint before we polish it. This thing really needs wet sanded or multiple stages of compounds to get all the scratches out. I just wanted to be nice and shiny for a driver for the summer and to get some protection on this paint again. But I'll kind of show you what I have been able to take it out of it. So we look over here as we come over to places I have not polished. See how the light kind of disperses really funky, and then back to sharp shine. So it's making a difference, just not quite as much as I would like. This thing shined up pretty decent. Overall, I'm really happy with it. I'm sure it'll look even better in the sunlight. One thing I didn't touch was the back bumper. And you can see that the clear coat is peeled off of this back cover. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do with that yet. I have an idea. We'll just see if it works out. I gotta lift this up and see what's going on with the rear end. For about the 20 minutes I got to drive it, every single time I hit a bump, it was really twitchy. And after doing a little bit of research on the internet, I think I might know what's wrong with it. Yep, that verifies it. I don't know if you can see this wobble this thing has, but that's pretty significant. It's about a ½ inch in and out. So that explained every single time I hit a bump why it wanted to really wander. I can even see it right through the wheel where it's moving. It's kind of like an outer tie rod end. I think they'd call it a outer toe link. So it's this thing right here that's bad that we need to change. Needs a little encouragement. Perfect. Did you hear that? That's no good. Now what I typically do is I set them on a flat surface and I look side to side to see if I'm gonna have to do much adjustment. And if there's a significant amount, then I'll go ahead and adjust that jam nut. But these look about identical, so I'm just gonna send it. These links are actually really tough to find. I only found one brand on Rock Auto that made rear ones. Other than that, the dealer was the only place I could find rear ones for it. I guess why they go bad so often, as I don't know anything about vets, but I've been diving into it, is because of the heat off the brake rotors actually wears this joint. I think it'd be smart to drill a hole in the bottom of it and put a grease zert and to continue to grease it, but we'll worry about that another day. Problem solved. Well, I pulled this back bumper off, and as you can just see, the clear was completely off of it everywhere. Even coming off down the sides here. So I have to come up with a solution because the car cleaned up so nice that I just can't be driving around with a bumper that's peeling. Well, I could. I just don't want to. So I have a plan, and I hope it's gonna work out. All right, so I have my solution. I'd make a trip over to the big city of Des Moines, and now I have my solution. Now don't laugh. Here it is. We went to one of the local auto salvages that just happened to have a Millennium Yellow Corvette, and it had a decent painted bumper on it. Now, we're not gonna keep any of this stuff, really. The spoiler's gonna have to stay. Unfortunately, there is some holes drilled in it to mount that spoiler. It is what it is. I do have a different style one we could probably look at to see if it covers it up. But we're gonna get this bolted on. And one of the things I did notice, these louvers new are about 100 bucks. I think I should be able to get $50 of them out of eBay. But back here, you can see this amber turn signal in it. Those are actually Euro lights, or true GM European lights, which just happened to see what I could find on eBay, list for about 70 bucks a piece. Well, I paid $300 for this bumper, so we're gonna be pretty dang close to paying off this bumper if I can sell those taillights and those louvers. Well, actually, changing a back bumper on this isn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Got the hood back on, back bumper's on, and it's a pretty good match. It's a little bit darker, but that car was a lot lower mileage and a lot cleaner than this one. All I have left on this thing is a change of front turn signal bulb. Oh yeah, I guess it also came with a set of Z06 shocks, and only 2 of them have been put on it, so I need to put the other 2 on. And after that, I think that's a wrap. I just finished the Corvette. I think I put on what the last modification, at least I'm going to do on it, is. So this thing came with another set of wheels, and they weren't on it, thankfully, so they stayed in pretty good shape. But anyways, they fit my likings a little bit more. The back tire needs to be a little bit wider. They stretched some 275s on it, really need some 305s or something like that. But this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's take some final shots of this thing. Thanks for watching the revival of this, and I'm so glad that we got it back to a good drivable state, and that thing looks pretty sweet for a bright yellow Corvette. Now, as I said in the first video, I'm not really a Corvette guy, but this thing has really grown on me. It drives awesome, runs great. I have no complaints of it. It's actually kind of made me a little bit of a C5 fan. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet. I have so many cars here. I've always been more of an F-body guy, and I'm redoing that 66 Chevelle, but my plan is driving this for the summer. I might list it for sale. And if it sells for higher than what I think I want out of it, then I'll let it go. If I don't get what I want out of it, probably gonna keep it. So in other words, probably gonna keep it. The interior came out pretty nice in this. Has a normal bolster wear in it. A little bit of paint on the seat, I'm not sure why. But overall, from what it started out to be, it smells a heck of a lot better. Cleaned up nicer than I ever thought it would. But that's gonna wrap this one up. I have another couple good revivals and a couple swaps coming up. So if you like this stuff, give it a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.